Hello there everyone, and welcome to the first video of hopefully many more on D&D ideas I have. I'd like to start off by apologizing if this video doesn't come out too well, because of first time ever using a webcam and trying to edit them, so I don't know how it's going to come out. If the video quality is poor or if the audio is poor, sorry about that. If I'm a bit ranty or going or just make no sense, again, sorry about that. Leave in the comments if you have any suggestions how I can improve settings or how I speak or how I list everything, because I'm looking to improve, definitely. I think that should be pretty much it for the forward, so get to the basics what today's video is about. Today's video is going to be about a sort of system hack I've been thinking of trying to implement into my D&D games. The part I'm going to talk now is just going to be basically the health system, because the actual total instance is going to be almost a complete reset of the whole game probably at the end. But that's way down the road, and I'm going to try doing baby steps, and today is going to be about, like I said, the health system. So the first basic idea, if I get this up, of the health system is, I should probably be more prepared, is actually all characters would start with a base 100 health. I posted this on a couple places and people had some suggestions about using a percentage sort of for what the which I might think of changing to later. The reason I'm setting 100 just right now is because it seems a little easier to do with the math for some of the systems I'm thinking I'll be speaking about later on. So the reason it is 100, actually before we get in that, again sorry for the crappy video, it's going to be like that the first video since it's my first video like this, is you start with 100 hit points. That's sort of baseline for all characters, all monsters, flat out everything. The only thing that can really change it is going to be your racials or magic effects, so like if you have an amulet to increase your health or some sort of blessing. In the reason it's 100 hit points is because the idea is it's going to be split into 5 sort of subcategories of health, and each time you drop between each of those stages you get a new sort of check mark on a I don't really got a name for it, but I guess we'll call it a conditions or something like that, or injuries I think is what I was using before. And the basic idea would be at 80, 60, 40, 20, and then 10% or 10 healths. And it might either be, like I said, 100% health points, and then at each point, or later on I might take some people's advice who's talking about using a percentage system, which could work. I thought it might be a little bit too much math, but I'll let Gene talk about that. Maybe give me some better ideas on this. The idea for the injury system would be at stage 1, which would be 80 hit points in my current system, is you're lightly injured and you need long rest before you can recover past 80 hit points. So if you fall below 80 hit points, either A, you need to take a long rest and then you can get healed up past it, or B, you need to get the injury healed, which I'll talk about the difference between normal healing and injury healing a little bit later. You're going to notice a small cut there. Sorry about that, because I pretty much screwed up on what I was saying at that point, so I had to reset that. But back to what I was saying was at stage 2, it would be 60 hit points is where it starts at. You receive light bleeding damage whenever you're hit. So if you're in combat and the hit gets through, you get a little bit extra damage added onto it. Sort of like if I got hit by a flaming sword, you get hit by the sword and then a small flaming effect at the end. Stage 3 would be at 40 hit points. You receive moderate bleeding damage each turn. Basically your wounds are opened up and you're starting to bleed out at this point. Stage 4 starts at 20 hit points, and performing a action or taking damage causes moderate bleeding damage. So if you're attacking, you're basically ripping your wounds open and bleeding more and taking more damage, and not good. And it doesn't actually stack with the previous set on when you're hit. It turns the previous when you're hit take light damage turns into moderate damage, so you're not taking 2 sets of damage. So And then final stage of 5 starts at 10 hit points, unable to defend, and you can only move at about 1/50th speed. Again, this is all up in the air. This is stuff I just recently wrote down and quickly working on. But the idea there being is that's basically where you're in serious damage. You're basically almost unconscious, and the only thing you can really do is crawl around. What I mean by unable to defend is pretty much you lose most of your armor bonuses and stuff like that, and pretty much if someone wants to take the actual action to get on top of you and stab you, they could end you right there. So 10 hit points is kind of real bad for you. Or, again, like I said, or 10% hit points, depending on what system I decide to go with at the end. That's pretty much it for the stages. I think it's time I should probably start saying about how you'd heal this, because it does change a bit. There'd be basically 2 sets of healing spells. You'd have one that actually heals conditions. So you might have a light one that heals 1 condition, so you move from stage 5, where you're stumbling around and can't defend yourself, to stage 4, where you're taking normal bleeding damage. So the idea of in a fight, you can get your opponent, your guy, up and moving again, pretty much. Thing with that is he's still at 10 hit points, so it's kind of a system of when you're healing, you gotta choose: do you want to stop the injury or do you want to heal the actual damage? Because of course, if you hit 0, you're dead. Now let's get into actual healing. Difference between different kinds of healing and stuff. What I've written down was basically healing kits and healing supplies, whatever one you want to use. There'd be basically right now I think about 5 different kinds, which would be spanning from like a basic, beginners, advanced, expert, and then like magical, different things. And what healing kits would be is just different healing things. They're right now it's just a generic term I'm using. Yeah, it would be like a beginner or a basics. Anyone can use a basic healing kit, but the thing is, it will either A, do a very small amount of hit point damage, or you could apply it and like have a chance to remove a what we call an injury from your character or other characters. So the idea is you could use the basic kit for first aid. Anyone could do it. And as you go up, like from basics to beginners, bench, more conditions you can remove and better hit point healing. So that lets people actually use medical skill and roll and try to heal people. The thing with medical skill is, again, anyone could really use it. To actually be able to use above basic, though, is you will need actually trained in it, though. And as it goes up, you have more at different points. You'll be able to use more and more better ones. And the idea with those is, if you don't have a cleric, so you're not completely screwed. That's basically what it's there for. There's healing potions, and of course healing potions would still be there, but I think of healing kits being more of a generic, easier to get sort of thing. So you can have a dedicated medic in the group. Try to think what else. I think that's where I'm going to stop for now, because I hopefully got the basic idea out of what I'm talking about. If I didn't, let me know in the comments again. I'm sorry, I'm not the greatest communicator. Hopefully I can improve that. So if anyone has any sort of advice for me, I'm willing to listen. And just to repeat what I said before, this is one of a whole bunch of changes I'm thinking of doing later on. Like, the whole thing might completely turn into almost a whole new game at end. But that's a long ways down the road. Hopefully I'm going to probably be making a video on some of the other stuff, like some of the racial ideas and other effects and stuff, and how magic items will work in my system, or system change, I guess. And also I have a whole idea on working with armor and like a sort of a layer system, but I'll put that in another video, because this one I get a feeling it's going to be kind of bloated already with my rambling and not so good at getting to the point. So I'm going to end it right here. Thank you for watching. Please comment and let me know everything you think I can improve to hopefully make more coherent videos next time. And have a great day.